All right, hey y'all, how y'all doing? Well, let me get a little closer to the mic here. Let me address. What I said? Address? No, let me adjust my mic stand. Make sure you can hear me good. Because the volume seems, I don't know, it seems low to me. So I'm gonna turn it up just for 1 second. All right, so welcome back, and if it's your first time, welcome. Appreciate everybody for being here. So now, I started a new. I keep changing because I don't know. Am I the only one that's so creative sometimes that you can't really focus on that one creative idea that you've had? I'm not too sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not too sure, but I keep coming up with different ideas, and hopefully, like one group like of ideas that I have will stick. But anywho, so I've been posting like different readings here lately. Mostly I've been doing like personal, just here and there readings, but I decided to jump back on my platforms here. So, I'm trying to be more consistent with that because I feel like I'm being called to do so, and I always put my foot in my mouth. So I'm not gonna make any promises here as far as which way I'm gonna go. As far as like as far as there's one platform in particular that I know that I'm gonna stick with. I love that environment and I love the people in that environment. So we'll see how it goes. I'm just gonna go with the flow. I'm just gonna go with the flow. Hopefully you find me wherever I end up. uh, Podcast for sure. I love doing this over the podcast thingy here. Absolutely enjoy this. So this for sure. But anywho, yeah. So I'm just trying to keep myself from putting my foot in my mouth. I keep telling myself if I do say it, then it'll help me stick with it because then I feel bad if I don't keep my word. So I don't know. I'm just trying to find different ways to help motivate myself and keep myself on track. Because sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like people don't really need to hear it or don't want to hear it or it sounds repetitive. But then I keep forgetting about those who don't, you know, who really do need it, who really it really does help and etc. etc. So today I want to start off from the reading because I've been doing like little mini readings on my platform, which is probably one of the reasons why you may be here, depending on the audience member. So I decided that I want to try to do that. I want to try to give like I'm gonna have like the start of the reading and post that, and then actually do the full reading on my podcast since I enjoy it so much. So earlier, I did post, and the beginning of the reading we pulled the Wheel of Fortune. We also pulled what's this here? Hold on, my angels and ancestors. I pulled from that oracle deck, and we got the mirror guardian, who said to take time to reflect. And I also pulled from the divine doors, and well, it's called divine doors, not the. I always say the for some reason. But I love that deck. I really, really love that deck, and all of the doors in that deck. I haven't actually like experienced pulling all of them, of course, but they're just beautiful. All of them are just so beautiful. So if you do want to see the Divine Door card that I pulled, then you should check me out on my TikTok. Check me out on my TikTok, and it's called It's Pudding's Truth, because that's the actual name of the brand, by the way. My podcast is It's Pudding's Tea, of course, which I thought was kind of, that was cute. I just took the oomph part off of it. And and also I think at the time it wouldn't let me put any more letters, so I couldn't call this It's Pudding's Truth. So it's still me, but yeah. So it's Pudding's Truth, and you can go check that out if you want to just get a more of a visual. So but the rest of the cards that I'm going to pull for the full reading itself, I'm not going to post that because I don't think I don't know. I might have to. Got another idea now. I don't know, cause well, it will make sense for those who listen to, but it's like for those who don't listen, cause I'm not gonna write, of course, everything that I say here. I don't even think I'll be able to post all of it. I'm not sure, so I don't know. We'll see how that goes to see if I can match those up or not. You know what? I think I just got another idea I need to work on. Yeah, see what I'm saying? But it's a blessing. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Spirit. I appreciate the ideas. So, oh, my higher self is just lovely. I just love the feedback from my higher self. Okay, so anywho, so yes, so that's how the reading started, and I'm just going to continue from there. Now, as far as the message that I pulled so far, uh, it's pretty much saying to pretty much give yourself a break, dude. Like, give yourself a break. I think that we get way too like, why am I getting the words washed up? I don't even know if that even matches what I'm trying to say, but it's coming through. So I don't know. But we do get kind of, we get overwhelmed with daily routine stuff. I don't know if you've noticed or not, but not much changes. Even when it's the stuff that you're worried about, even if it's the problems that you have, if you really kind of think about it, it comes and goes, but it's almost the same thing. So at a certain point, you got to just realize, like, you know what? I can give myself a little free time. I can take a break from all of this. Like, at the end of the day, it's like playing the same episode over and over to a certain extent, you know? And after a while, it gets repetitive. And why not give yourself a break? I mean, stop worrying. I know. Some people say, "Well, that's easier said than done because I have this going on, I have that going on." You do have that stuff that you've created that you're intertwined in, but just take a break. Like, it's not going anywhere, you know. And if you do want it to change, if you do want it to go somewhere, then you have to change first. And in order to do that, you have to take a few steps back sometimes to actually look at the whole thing, look at the full picture, look at what you would consider reality. Because honestly, it feels like there's all these things, like your insurance company, and these are just examples because everybody deals with these things one way or another. You have bills. If you have children, you have this, you have school, you have homework. At a certain point, though, it's like, when are you going to realize, like, you know what? I'm the main character. No one is really actually controlling the scenarios. No one really actually has control over me, what I do, what I say. It's like, if I decide today to step outside of this particular episode, if I decide to do something completely different than I've ever done before, whether it's just in your mind you, you can be laying in your bed and just, have you actually laid in your bed for an hour or two, whether you mean to meditate or not? Sometimes you end up meditating by accident, but it's like, how do you visualize? Like, how do you see your day going, or how do you see that moment? Like, have you ever just sat and enjoyed the moment, actually, and just like, you know what? This is peace. This is quiet. Whether I'm in a homeless shelter, whether I'm in my own bed, whether I'm in my own house, whether I'm in someone else, have you really stepped back and just decided to take that particular moment that you have and decided to be at peace, even if it's just for a few minutes? And like, you know what? I can just get up right now and do something different. I can just get up right now and do something that I've never done before. And it could be the smallest thing, and it's a great start. It's like, just let go. I, I want to say, just try your best to gain more control over your decisions, over your life, over what you decide to do. Because honestly, it's too many of us that are following. It's too many people that feel like, okay, this is the way things are, and this is how it has to go. That's not how it has to be, especially if you're not happy. It doesn't have to be that way. When you don't, everybody's doing the same thing. Why? Why do we have variety? Why do we have all these different things? Like, if you're a traveler, if you've ever traveled and been outside of where you are, and you see these little differences, you see these things that people do differently. Like, I'm pretty sure I said it on here once before, but I'm gonna say it again. I lived overseas for quite some time, right? And it opened my eyes to so many different things. Like, first of all, where I was, they didn't practice or do daylight savings time. Like, they didn't change the clocks. Nothing went back, nothing went forward. And when I was, before, up until that moment, and I was in my early 20s, right? Up until that moment, I thought that was mandatory. I thought that was something that everybody did. I thought it was super important. I thought that it had something to do with the entire world. The entire world. And what's the saying? I always mess little sayings up. Well, not always, but sometimes I mess little sayings up. But it's like, if the mind, how does it go? It's like, oh, I just heard it. I just heard it yesterday too, and I can't remember. But it's like, if the mind is blind, then the eyes are useless. Because with your two eyes, you see things one way, right? And in your mind, you have it, depicted as this is how it goes. And then you realize that that's not even how that works. Have you ever seen like those little compilations of videos of saying like how people have been using things the wrong way? Like how people, like almost everybody opens a package this particular way. Come to find out, you supposed to, it was not created, and these little tabs that you've been ignoring were made to be pulled so you can open and close this package easier. Like, and you never knew until you saw the video. You like, we've all been doing it wrong. For generations, I've seen people open a box like this, or open a package like this, or open this container like this, and come to find out we've been doing it wrong the whole time. So you don't have to follow the leader. Even if you're the only person in your family that decides to do something this way, do it. If it feels natural to you, do it. If it brings you happiness, do it. I feel like you should be able to do almost anything you want to do as long as you're not hurting anyone, right? Because some people take those words and go a little too far. But listen, we were meant to do things differently. We were meant to think outside of the box. We were not meant to be these people that are just following each other and doing the same thing and trying our best to strive to live our lives identically. We were not meant to do that. We were not made for that. You know? That's why when you do travel and you see these other countries that eat differently, that just they teach differently, they learn differently, and you're like, wow, like where has this been all my life? What's going on here? So yeah, so that's pretty much the foundation of the reading for the beginning. Like step outside the box. Just sit back and just try to figure out, how do you want to live your life? What do you want to see within your life? Give yourself some free time though. Don't take this information and build more stress on yourself, and then you realize, oh, all of because sometimes when you have realizations, they can kind of make you sad or stress you out a little bit, because you're like, oh my goodness, when you have that epiphany, sometimes it could be a little rough on you. But what I'm telling you is, you can do it to a certain point or to a certain extent where it doesn't, when you have relief, when you find relief in it, relax yourself, find some free time, whatever that is. Like sometimes even playing video games can, like I play certain games, I'm a Sims fan, I love my Grand Theft Auto, certain things like that I like to play, right? But sometimes that also isn't really freeing myself, because I'm thinking of all the things I have to do, the little missions I have to complete, or the missions I can't beat, then I have to, and then I'm like, do I want to put in some cheat codes? Like that can also kind of have you wound up a little bit. So it's like sometimes you just need to be still, be in the present moment, and practice that. And then you can do a little research, like how do I, relax a little bit more, like, and then find what works for you, but don't overdo it, because the whole point is to relax, free yourself. So I'm gonna put a few more cards here, and I've been really getting, um, like the feeling that I need to also tap into like some love energy today, and pull some love cards for some of you. Probably a little bit more than I usually do, because I only usually pull like one or two when it comes to. But I have a feeling that I'm gonna be doing probably a few more than that. But first we're gonna pull some cards here from my Wild Unknown Tarot deck. I love my Wild Unknown. And this deck was made by Kim Krans. I think I'm pronouncing her last name right. Krans, Krans. I love this deck. Now in this deck, it doesn't have any like reversals. So as a beginner, it really did help me when I first started to learn stuff. But at the same time, I wish I would have learned reverses when I first started, because now that I have other decks that do have reverses, I kind of feel like I'm learning like all over again. But I just want to mention that real quick for someone. It's because anytime I do mention something, even though I don't mean to, I'm like, it's for somebody. It's meant for somebody. I'm not even gonna be hard on myself. I'm not gonna be what I feel like is normal, and I'm not gonna blame my ADHD either. I'm just gonna be myself. And I think I say that a lot on my podcast. If you go back and listen to a lot of episodes, I'm always wrestling with myself on like being myself. You will hear that a lot. I that's why I say I don't edit a lot. A lot of my mistakes or where I feel like something doesn't sound right or I didn't pronounce something right or whatever. I don't because when I used to back in like when I first started, I used to do that, and before I know it, I'm like I'll be done scrap a whole episode, and I felt like it was a good episode. Sometimes you feel like something that you created is fantastic, and it doesn't reach anybody, and you're like, well, maybe it sucks. Sometimes it really just don't matter. Just do it. That's why I don't edit too much. It depends. Like if it doesn't sound like the actual sound is too low or too high, something like I may go back and try to edit. But other than that, I'm like I'm just gonna let it fly. You know, I'm just gonna act like it's live because I'm embracing myself. I'm embracing myself, and I'll learn later. I'll learn later. And if you have any suggestions, if you have anything that you, hey, let me know. As long as it's coming from a loving place, a place of, you caring, a caring place, that I'm cool with it. As long as we all stay respectful, you know. And I'm good with, feedback. Like I can take like criticism. It's just some people it's coming from a personal place and not from an actual like how can I say? Because I used to do that too. Like, that's why I don't comment on things as much as I used to, unless it's positive. Like, other than that, if it's criticism, for the most part, I kind of sort of keep it to myself, unless the creator in the video is like really asking for like, what do you think? Like, how did you see this? Like, because some people do like, and I like that too, but I also see, and these are adults that I be seeing comment on people's stuff, and sometimes you can just tell from just this personal place and that they did not take any time to actually hear what the person was saying because they're so hell bent on what they like their belief system or how they view things, and I kind of get that that's where opinions come from, of course, because it's just someone's opinion, but people don't really seem to consider other people's feelings though. Like real quick before I jump into this. I do. There's these creators that I've watched, and they're kind of like in the beginning of their YouTube channel, and they have like this apartment that they stay in. And my thing is, they create good content, and people be like clowning or roasting their apartment, and I'm like, that has nothing to do with the content that they create. Like nothing. It's like that's the thing that I'm saying. Like you have no right to that's not what people mean when they say they're fine with criticism or your opinion. Where they stay and how they has nothing to do with it. But like for example, like they may have like certain cracks or like paint chipped off or and it's like where they stay they can't fix, and they've said this too on their channel, like certain stuff they can't fix themselves because if something goes wrong, then the people that are responsible for the building won't fix it because they can't go behind like personal repairs. So if something's wrong, they have to put in a trouble ticket. You know how that goes, and they have to have the people come and they have to fix it. So it's like if they're waiting on them to fix something or whatever the case may be, that's not their fault. Like for their place is clean, first of all, it's not anything like that. So it's like they just have a particular like apartment that they're staying in, and the people that own the building or that are responsible for those particular repairs and things like that, like they don't. And let's just be honest, most people they don't care about like the cosmetic look of a place when these a lot of these people that own these particular buildings, especially if it's like housing or something like that, they're not gonna come in and be like, oh, this doesn't look right, I need you to paint this. They're not gonna rush and do that. They like, look, is your livelihood depend on this? The water running, ain't no leakages, and sometimes you can't even get them the herb and come fix that. And I've seen and heard of people who had leaks and this and that and the third. So yeah. But anyway, I just wanted to point that out. Like we can do better, bro. We can be better than that. Like if you enjoy the content, enjoy the content. If you can't stand to look at something or it doesn't make sense to me to make someone feel bad about something like that when they're trying to grow and move out. When they're trying to go have something better. Like yeah, so it's like that's not good. But anyway, so back to the reading. So besides freeing yourself, I just want to actually dig a little deeper into this and clarify this a little bit more. And I actually got the same card. Oh my goodness. So I got the Four of Wands, which I pulled earlier. And so clearly there must be something a little bit more. Because I've been feeling it like the past 3 days. That a lot of these like messages I've been getting have been amplified. And it's like really being pushed out there. Like raising your vibration and learning to be happy within yourself is truly important right now. Because when you're happy, then everything changes around you. You have the ability to actually boost up someone else's energy, right? Because you ever had someone in a bad mood and it's like a rotten apple and it spoils the bunch. It's the same thing with good energy. Oh, 1010. 1010 is 1010. Ain't your number for somebody? Look up 1010. That's for you. That's for you. But yeah, but when it comes to Four Wands, it's time to start to visualize, start to envision, those things that you just go ahead and see them as being done. Whatever goals that you have is what I'm getting at. Whatever goals you have, whatever like whatever that thing is, that desire that you want to be met, I want you to just keep picturing it being fulfilled. Like keep picturing that desire is fulfilled. Like whatever it is. Like say for example you want a new car, go ahead and just sit back and just think about like how good that steering wheel feels. Like how does the gear shift move? And if you don't know, then you need to look up that dream car that you want and look at those particular like specs. Look at how look at some little like little videos. You might find you some little videos. I'm sure you can because they're selling the car. Say for example you want a Nissan or you want a Ferrari, whatever it is. Go and look at some videos on it, see how it functions, and then picture yourself doing that. Picture yourself hooking your phone up to the Bluetooth in there. What song you gonna play, and you gonna ride. Picture yourself riding. You hear me? Okay. So let's see what else we got here. What else do we want to tell them about this energy? Okay. Ace of Wands, baby. Yes, I love it. I love the Wands energy. I love that fire. This fire is coming through. So with the Ace of Wands, we have a new beginning. We're taking off, people. Let's do what we got to do. If you're here, then you're already up to a great start. Like if you're here. That's period, point blank, period. You're not here by mistake. You're definitely not here by mistake. And yeah, I was about to say something. I'm not gonna say something because what I was about to say was gonna take away from me. I don't want to do that. But yes, if you're here, trust and believe. If you're here, then most definitely you have these new beginnings coming in. And one thing I do want to say is sometimes it's the little things that we take for granted, like those little changes. Sometimes that little spark is all that's needed for you to take off. So don't ignore those little changes. Don't ignore those little things that you see, like those little differences. Like if you get an extra day to do something, or if you have that tiny little thing, like embrace that and just know that, okay, yes, this is most definitely a sign. And I'm getting that too, that you're going to get a sign. Some of us are going to get signs here, and it's up to you not to ignore it. Don't make yourself suffer. You know what I mean? And also, this is for like one or two of you, not this is a tiny little reminder that not everything is a sign. Especially if it's something that's not good for you. Sometimes you want a sign so bad, especially if you listen to someone like me, or you listen to a reader, or it could be a friend or family. Just any advice you get. Sometimes you want something so bad that you'll see a sign and it's not one. Like you've been scrolling through and you see like an advertisement for like someone who does readings or something, and they be like, yeah, that love that you've been wanting, that person that you've been wanting to love you, they're coming back. Sometimes that message ain't for you. Sometimes that person that you want to come back ain't for you. So yeah, that's just for one or two of you. Just something. Sometimes the signs aren't everywhere. Like like your energy is going to tell you, your body's going to tell you, your intuition is going to tell you. You're gonna just know. Like you won't have to force it. You won't have to necessarily question it either. Now I know sometimes it's kind of hard for us, and we tend to question ourselves when it is for us. But sometimes that's just you having trouble accepting like that good is coming, and you just have to train yourself to know that everything is good, no matter what it looks like. Even if it may be stressful, you get like an extra bill, or you get an extra something, or you get this like, oh, I thought I had a week and now I only have 2 days. Sometimes you just have to look at it from, the grass. The grass is green on the other side when it comes to certain things. Like everything happens for a reason, for sure. But you just gotta. Like, it's hard for me to put into words because I know personally, like sometimes certain things happen. You just like, there's no way that something good's gonna come out of this, but it will. And the more you see it that way, the less you start seeing things like it's being bad or bad luck or anything like that. Like, I don't believe in this. I try not to, because it doesn't really serve a purpose. And it's like, since I've been living the words I've been speaking, like things pick up quick. You hear me? Like, you go one day like, I need it now, and then it's like it takes forever. And then some things, it's like as soon as you let it go, you'll be surprised. You start getting kind of curious. You get a little paranoid, like, wow, this having a little too fast. Like, and then after that, you start to accept it, and then it kind of becomes autopilot. And before you know it, when you just start going with the flow, and everything just seems light. Everything seems light. Now be careful though with outside people, especially like if you know. And it tends to be family because you spend so much time with them. Sometimes it's friends too that you have to learn to cut off, and they were your safe haven like before, and sometimes you ended up having more feelings for them and trusting them more than family. But sometimes it's all in the above. Like sometimes it's you. Sometimes you're that person. So it's like you really have to just really go with the flow and take that time and really look at things for what they are. Look at people for what they are. You know? And that includes you. That includes yourself. None of this stuff is gonna happen like until you change yourself. And you will stop attracting that energy. You'll stop attracting those type of people. Like you're gonna vibrate so high that those people aren't even really gonna bother with you, because they gonna realize sooner or later it's a waste of time, or they're gonna realize sooner or later that like every time I mess with this person, whether it be verbally, physically, whether in my presence, not in my presence, it doesn't turn out well for me. And they just don't. They can't feed off of it. Don't let anyone feed off of you, and you shouldn't be feeding off of anyone else either. You know. So hopefully that makes sense. Because sometimes these things just come to me, like I said, and I try my best to filter it the best way I can and get the message across. But at the end of the day, it's going to always circle back to you, though. It's going to always circle back to you, and honestly, it's not the end of the world because you can't trust someone. It's not the end of the world because of this, that, and the third. Some people are good at deceiving people too now. So it's like you don't blame yourself. You know what I mean? And even if you're one of those people that you feel the energy, you know better, and that person got slipped, past your radar, that's fine. Just let it go. Like that person played their part. They lasted that long for a reason. Like they played their part. Like at the end of the day, just let it go, because it's only going to affect you if you don't. So you might as well. You might as well just keep moving. It's cool. Don't worry about it. It's cool. You know. Okay, and I'm put one more card here from. Oh, hello. Mm, I love that Empress energy. I love that Empress energy. Step into it. Hold on a second. Okay, making sure I didn't have anything else trying to come out. I wasn't too sure if I was feeling it or not. But then I got the moon on the bottom of the deck. So I think I'm gonna take that since I kind of got it. But yeah. So as far as the moon goes, got a little mysterious images, but kind of like going into the darkness. But you don't have to be afraid. Just a little quick little reminder. Just a little reminder. Not too sure who that's for, but I'm not gonna go. If something tells me not even go into details on that and leave it as is. What I said. Sometimes you just got to. But don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. You have nothing to be afraid of. Nothing to be afraid of. But going back to the Empress, Going back to the Empress here, it's time to reconnect a little bit more. It's time to reconnect back to it. uh, It means to reconnect back to nature. It's a fertile time to do so, but it's more so like reconnecting back to your true nature. Because for some of you, you weren't always the way you are now, and some people they were never, who they're going to be, and some people are going back to who they used to be, if that makes sense. So for a lot of you, it's reconnecting, and a lot of you is connecting for the first time. Either way it goes, it's a rebirth, and it feels fantastic. But don't pressure yourself either. It's not something that has to happen right now. For some people, it's going to be quick. It's going to be like overnight. It's going to be like, oh my goodness, like that feels amazing. It's almost addictive. But for others, it takes a little time, and that's usually what makes people stray away from a lot of different things and doing the work. And it's called work for a reason. but but you got to though, you got to motivate yourself a little bit. And like I've said before, I've said this maybe 2 or 3 episodes ago, but do the smallest thing you can if you have a hard time with doing. Some people don't have a hard time with doing, and some of us do. So just take the time to kind of just figure yourself out and figure out what works for you. You know what I mean? Like if it's just going outside for 5 minutes, if it's walking, if you can walk in some grass with your shoes off, even if you don't really know what it means. Like I heard somebody say this on the podcast. I think I'm gonna that. It's like, but if that doesn't work for you, find what works for you. If getting your hands on more natural like herbs and teas and things like that, if that works for you, do that. Like whatever works for you, start there. Whatever you're into, start there. If it's so much as just playing meditation music on low in the background, you know, and just tell yourself like I'm gonna just type in meditation music on whatever platform you use, because meditation music is everywhere at this point. So it's like, if it's a book, find a good book. If reading is your thing, like whatever is your thing, just try to find out what that is and do that and go that particular direction. Like I can't just tell you, oh, you need to meditate. Now I can tell you it's beneficial. And a lot of people like you don't know how. It's not really a how. Like as long as you start, you'll get there eventually, because before you know it, you're gonna always want to level up from where you are when you start to do something. So start somewhere though. Just start somewhere. If it's talking to someone who you feel like may know some things, if you feel like you don't know anybody, you don't know where to start. If you're hearing this, then you've already started. Point blank period. So yeah, so just find what works for you. You will feel like it's natural. You'll feel like you're reconnecting more to yourself. You'll feel like you're connecting more to nature. If it's a pet, get you a pet. If it's not that, if you don't do pets, get a house plant. Get a succulent that you don't really have to do much to keep them alive. You know what I mean? Like do something that's going in that particular direction, because you do have that ace of wands for new beginnings. So just you already headed in the right direction. If you made it this far, if you made it this far in this episode, you already headed in the right direction. So, all right. So let's see here. Which one did I? Because I was about to put my deck up here, and then I got the. Is this okay? Hold on one second. So I have. I was just about to put the deck up and go into the love cards here, but and I only go into it when it really tells me to, and I'm getting the vibe to say, yeah, go ahead and say something. So I got the 7 of Swords here, by the way. Now, when it comes to the 7 of Swords, that's like secrecy. So it's like either you're hiding something or someone's hiding something from you. But since the topic of today has mostly been about you doing what's best for you, I feel like it's you. You're hiding something. You're keeping something hidden somewhere, and you're gonna have to unpack it. Like, do you want better or do you not? If you don't, then hey, it's your prerogative. I mean, you want to keep doing what you're doing. That's on you. Like everybody has their time. There's no rush. If you're not ready yet, you also admit that to yourself. Maybe that's a secret that you're keeping from yourself and keeping from others. Like, maybe you're just not ready to change. Like, and no one should make you feel bad for that either. I'm not gonna make you feel bad for that. Like, sometimes we're just not ready. Some people are comfortable in the everyday routine type of situation. If it takes you another lifetime, 2, 3, 4, 5 lifetimes, or whatever it can be, whatever is meant for you is meant for you. Like, and I've also noticed that too, by the way, that a lot of people have joined in on like this particular thing as far as spirituality, and a lot of people on that particular bandwagon. It's not a bandwagon though. Is what people feel to realize. Like, it's not it's not a trend. It's not a trend. It's not something that, oh, this is what we're focusing on. This decade. Like, nah, it's really uh, I can't say for everyone. Me in particular, like, I feel like I'm spirit, right? I'm a goddess. And I'm everything. Everything is me. We're all connected, right? And it's not this thing that I do on the side. It's not this thing that I practice to get what I want materially. It's no. It goes far. It Listen. It goes way beyond that, and it's way more important than that. It's not just this one particular lifetime. It's not a particular way of living. It is all to me. Like, I'm spirit. Like, it's everything. Like, period, point blank. It's consciousness. It's life. It's awareness. Like, period, point blank. So once you start to make those changes, you can make those changes, and those changes are going to be there. Like, it's not that you're spiritual one day and you're not spiritual the next day. Like, it doesn't necessarily work like that. But everybody has their time. Everybody has their path. And do what's best for you. Is all I can tell you. Do what's best for you. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know. But so let me hurry up here because I'm kinda running out of time. And I do want to pull a couple of these cards real quick. So let's see what we have here. I do want to dig more into that secret, but I may have to just wait until another time. Okay, so in the love category here, we have honeymoon, and I'm not gonna really like go because I got a amount of time restraint here. So honeymoon, enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. Ooh, okay, and this is coming from my these cards are coming from my the Romance Angels Oracle deck. Okay, let's see here. We have new love. Maybe hey, because some of y'all do got some new beginnings there. And sometimes we have to go it alone. Sometimes we get a partner, which is fantastic, which is beautiful. You get a partner to help you out in this on this journey. And we have new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Okay. And since we had secret earlier, don't keep no secret from that person. Now, don't get me wrong. Tell them all your business if you just met them because you don't know them like that. But what I'm saying is, if you got a huge thing that's weighing on you, or you got baggage, let them know. Let them have that choice. Please give people choices, people. Please don't hide things because you automatically assume you know how somebody's going to feel, or you think they're not going to talk to you. And if they're not going to talk to you because your baggage is that heavy, then that's not fair. Give them that chance to go. Okay? Don't do that. Don't be selfish. Okay. And we have a third card here that says release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. Okay. And I was going to do just that, but someone says one more. And then we have forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Wow. And I ain't gonna lie, these cards are really hitting on the reading I had today and yesterday, which is awesome sauce. Okay. So, let me hurry and get these ones. And I also have my love oracle cards from Island Time Wellness. And I forgot that they got like four or five different decks. Probably more. It's been a while since I looked into them. I need to get those. Now I'm thinking about it. Okay, so put these back. Oh, okay. And then we're going to dip into these real quick. And then that'll be it. Because I got to go. Okay. me see. Did I get all of them? Okay. Okay, so let's see. And these ones right here usually hit hard. Ain't no telling what you get with these sometimes. So let's see. We got mask. Not showing true feelings, hiding, personify, pretend, delude, gaslighting. It could also go with the card that we got earlier with the secrets. Who knows? Someone's wearing a mask. Sometimes that's a new beginning too. Is letting go of the ex, letting go of these past energies. Let's see what we got here. We have karmic relationship. Okay, yeah. So it's starting to be a whole lot more clear now. And it could be turmoil, it could be lessons, it could be letting go and loving yourself. Karmic relationships. Because a lot of times we hang on to karmic relationships and they're not just, they're meant to trigger certain things in you for, your evolution so you can make those particular changes. They're not always meant to, karmic relations aren't meant to like stay, you're not meant to stay in those. Sorry. That's all I was trying to say. You're not necessarily meant to stay in karmic relationships. They usually are there to play their roles and push on through and get it on moving. And most of the time that's all they're good for. It's to trigger things in you, trigger changes in you, and then that's it. And so let's see here. And you know what? I'm actually going to look more into that as well because I don't want to just leave it so harsh and cut and dry. But it's kind of sort of usually what they lead to is showing you what you need to let go of and showing you what you don't want. For the most part, I believe. And karmic relationships also now, it doesn't necessarily have to be people you're dating either. They're just relationships in general. And then we have palm tree, stability, security. Okay, see, we're coming back. Okay, you got a little growth, some flexibility. So yeah, you still have that stability after all of these things. It's just you working through all of them. And sometimes listen, most of the time it hurts, but sometimes you just gotta take it. You have to take it. Like, this because and I got engagement, y'all. We got an engagement ring. We got commitment, eternity, completion, and there's a lot of completion that's coming up the past 3 days as well. So what I will say is, do not try to avoid the hurt, because by doing so, you inadvertently end up hurting yourself more. So don't try to avoid the hurt because it hurts regardless. It hurts regardless. Like. So whether you're gonna pull the band-aid off now or later, it's gonna come off eventually. So it's like save yourself the time because then when you do wait too late, then you suffer and you make yourself suffer because you're like, I should have this and I should have that. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda. Is that how? Yeah, shoulda, coulda, woulda is how it goes. But yeah, so I gotta go. But yeah, I really hope that this helped. I really hope that this helps you and it assists you, and I will be back with more readings for you because I feel like this is the perfect time. Like, I really think this is it. This is the time, and I really need to step up my game because I do have responsibility here. But I really hope that, like, I didn't seem like all over the place. And I say that like every episode too. And I'm sorry, you guys, that I repeat myself because I don't even like people that repeat themselves, and it annoys me sometimes that I repeat myself. But I don't know how to change it really because it's like it depends. Because like if this, say for example, if this is the first time you've heard me, then it ain't repeated to you. Sometimes we do need things repeated though, so they stick. Sometimes I do need to rewatch things. Yeah, I think I'm just being. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with the flow like I said before. Hopefully I wasn't annoying and and you enjoyed this episode. I'm that friend, y'all. I'm just that friend. Okay, so but yeah, I'm running out of time. Okay, so yeah, so thank you for joining me. I really hope that you gain some clarity. And please remember that the whole entire message doesn't necessarily have to be for you. Take what resonates. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest. And if the whole message just happens to resonate with you, then beautiful as well. But don't force anything to fit though. That's all I'm saying. But love you guys because I have no reason not to. And I'll see you on the next episode.